Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here with another vlog for you guys. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite a while now, and I've talked about it before, and I'm going to continue to talk about it because of how important I think it is, but I want to talk about manifesting. The reason I want to talk about it is because I feel like I've kind of been, I haven't explained my version of manifesting quite properly. I don't think that I have expressed exactly what I mean by my version of manifesting. And I'm going to reference a fighter, a UFC fighter. So if you're not a UFC fan, if you're not a fighting fan, if you're not a fan of this guy in particular, don't just turn it off and stop listening. I promise that the information that I'm going to give you, or what I'm going to give you within this video, will be helpful, and it won't be just praising this guy, because he's not my favorite fighter. My favorite fighter was probably fighting him next. So and it's not Daniel Cormier, but Anthony Johnson. That's just what I read today. But anyways, Jon Jones is the fighter I want to talk about, and I want to talk about it because he brought this up back in 2011, and I want to showcase all the stuff that he's been able to accomplish, all the things that he's been able to do that he probably shouldn't have been able to do according to the rules of the world, but the things that he's been able to do in such a short amount of time, and the amazing things that he's been able to accomplish in the short amount of time, and the things he's been able to get away with in such a short amount of time, and continue to be forgiven. And I believe that it's completely his mindset, and it is what he's manifesting out there in the world. So, a lot of people want to talk about the law of attraction. And if you don't know what the law of attraction is, it is simply, if you're going to put positive things out there in the universe, then you will be rewarded by positivity. Essentially, that's what it is. And I do believe in that 100%. I believe that if you're good to people, you're going to have people be good to you in return, and so on and so forth, things like that. When I talk about manifesting, it's a little different. Now, I want to read a quote from him, and I have it written down because I don't want to get it wrong. I want to actually quote him correctly. So in 2011, he was fighting for the belt. He was fighting Mauricio Shogun Rua for the belt, and he was signing his signature Champ 2011. And he was asked about that. Well, why are you signing Champ 2011? And this is his quote. He says, "I believe in the law of attraction. I believe you can speak things into existence. I believe when you know where you're going and what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you." Now, that is powerful. He says, "I believe in the law of attraction." Okay, positive, cool. But then he says, "I believe you can speak things into existence." If I was to tell myself, you're going to be famous, you're going to be famous, you're going to be famous, you're going to be famous every single day, I would probably start doing things in my life that would make it so I could become famous, like YouTube videos. But then the more powerful statement comes. I believe that when you know where you're going and what you're doing, the universe has a way of stepping to the side for you. Now, essentially what he's saying is, if you know where you're going, there's nothing that can stop you. Not even the universe. The universe will literally step to the side and say, "All right, champ, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going, go ahead. Free access, go ahead." Now, there's the work that comes along with that. There's the hard work, there's the preparation, there's all the things that come along with that. But if you know where you're going and you've spoken these things into existence, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. That is powerful. And that is the type of manifesting that I believe in. Now, okay, where's the proof? Where's the proof that this is true? Okay, well, let's take an example. Jon Jones fighting Shogun. Shogun had the experience, had been fighting for years. He was a killer. He's known for slugfests and straight up battles. Jon Jones, new to the game, green to the game, just starting, and Shogun has the strength over him. Jon Jones is huge now, but back when he fought Shogun, he was a small guy. He was just tall and lanky, skinny, and he dismantled Shogun, dismantled him. Just beat him every single round that he was in with him. I think it went 2 rounds, maybe even 1 round, but he dismantled him. That doesn't happen. That wasn't happening before that. The only person who finished him quick was Forrest Griffin before that, and it was Shogun's first fight in a cage outside of the ring. So I don't want to make excuses for him. Okay, you don't believe me? Let's go on. Jon Jones fights Lyoto Machida, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Jon Jones, probably a white belt. I know in a no-gi he's a in a gi he's a white belt. I don't know what he is in no-gi, but he's not a black belt. And if you know anything about jiu-jitsu, if you know anything about fighting, a white belt does not take out a yellow belt or an orange belt. A brown belt does not take out a blue belt. I don't know the rankings, but you don't take out a belt higher than you. He took out he took out a guy that was like 7 or 8 belts higher than him. Submitted him with a standing guillotine. Okay? All right, you don't believe me. That's not proof enough. All right, let's go to one of his most current fights, Daniel Cormier, an Olympic wrestler, a guy who dedicated his entire life to one discipline. That's all that he did, and he's an Olympic caliber wrestler. Jon Jones not only stopped him from wrestling him, actually took him down himself. Took down an Olympic wrestler. Okay? All right, still don't believe me. All right. Jon Jones gets in trouble all the time. Jon Jones is always, there's always something going wrong in his life. All right, so let's look at that. Jon Jones gets caught in hit and run. Hits a woman. I think he breaks her arm, and he runs from the scene. Goes to jail. Gets out. Fans forgive him. He's still fighting in the UFC. He's still the champion. He goes, fights, gets busted for cocaine. Fans forgive him. They're still ready to see him fight DC again. They're ready for it. Jon Jones gets busted for performance-enhancing drugs or for taking a banned substance that you normally take from taking a performance-enhancing drug. He's getting another chance. The UFC is letting him back in. USADA, who no one gets away from, we don't know all the details yet, but he's coming out saying, Jon is coming out saying things are looking up, things are good. I'm going to be fighting in the UFC soon. The USADA doesn't care if you're a big draw. They don't care if you are making the UFC money. They don't work for the UFC. They don't make money when the UFC makes money. Their job is to make sure you're not doing something you shouldn't be doing. Vanderlei Silva ran from them. Where's he at? Has anyone heard his name in the past 5 years? Brock Lesnar. I just read today he's getting sued by USADA. He tested positive for the exact same thing that Jon Jones did. They tested positive for the same thing. So look at it. Look at the evidence of the things that he's been able to accomplish. Is he the biggest draw in the UFC's ever seen? No. Brock Lesnar's a way bigger draw than he is. He's pulled in way more numbers than he has. Is he the poster boy, the golden boy of the UFC? No. I'm sure Dana White is shaking his head every time he has to get on the phone with Jon Jones because he doesn't know what is coming up next. Dana White himself said, this guy has 9 lives. He can't die. He just keeps coming back, and everything keeps being okay for him. Things keep working out for him. And why is that? We've written athletes off for less than that, for less than what Jon's done. We've written them off forever, and that we're done with them. But yet he still has a huge fan base. People still follow him. People still love him. People still believe in him. Why is that? It's because he's spoken this into existence. He's spoken his greatness into existence. Now, you can choose to believe me on this, or you can choose to think I'm full of crap. That's all right. I'm going to continue to do my manifestations the way that Jon is. I'm going to speak myself into existence. I'm going to speak my greatness into existence. I'm going to speak so powerfully and believe it and have such focus and drive of where I'm going that the universe itself will step to the side and let me through. I hope this is just a small, and like I said, I'm not here to blow up Jon Jones's name. My favorite fighter is Anthony Johnson. I'm just going to say that right now. He's my favorite fighter of all time. But the man's onto something. The man's doing something right. With all the stuff that he's doing wrong, he's doing something right. I believe he just wakes up in the morning and tells himself everything's going to be okay and believes it and moves forward as if everything's going to be okay. He doesn't sit back and sulk and wait for the repercussions to happen and wait for things to happen. He just believes and tells himself that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work itself out. It's going to be just fine. And he moves forward as if that's exactly what's happening. And it continues to happen time and time and time again. So I would like you all to accept my challenge to do a proper manifestation. Do it for a month. Every day, tell yourself something great that you want to accomplish, something great that you want to do. I don't care if you've never built something in your life and your stupid manifestation is, I'm going to build a shed in my backyard. Do it. Do it. Tell yourself you're going to complete it every day. I guarantee at the end of the month, you're going to have either started and finished the project, or you'll have started the project, because that's what manifestation is. It is telling whatever you think the universe has in store for you, it's you telling it, nope, I'm making the calls now. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm done waiting to see what you have in store for me, but it's my time to take over. So do that. Give me a month. Give me a month of manifestations. I promise you, your life will be better and it'll be more fulfilling. You will start to accomplish the things that you have in store for yourself, and you'll just start to feel better about who you are as a person and where you're going in life. All right? I love you all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.